what do you get with the Supercharge Your Marketing DIY product? You get firstly a PDF that outlines who needs marketing strategy and why, when should you use this document, and that's about ideally before you start any marketing. But let's be realistic, that is rarely happens. So it is applicable very much for those who have already started marketing and they're like throwing a bit of this out there and a bit of that out there and an occasional bit there. It's about looking at what you're doing, how it's working, and coming together with a strategic plan for how to do your marketing. And then also will allow you how to assess how it's all working and how to tweak it so that it goes from marketing that's sort of working or maybe isn't working to jumping along on the bottom without anything happening to marketing that is being effective. It'll allow you to have real metrics that you go to and look at to say what's working, what isn't working, and how do I tweak it. So there is a number of background documents to this. The first is the what I call the client detail summary or the customer your business detail summary. Doesn't matter what it's called, but basically it allows you to see what you're doing, putting together all your URLs for your social medias, finding out, asking you questions like what's your unique selling point? What top products are you selling? What are the objections? And I often find that customers who go through this exercise, they're really astounded at what insights they get. Like they just haven't had a chance to go back, particularly if they've been in business for maybe even 6 months or longer. It gives you a chance to go back and say, well, what is the essence of my business? What am I doing? And the big part of that client document summary that is really important is the target avatars or the target audiences, and it allows you to really drill down and define what those target audiences are, and also then think about what your brand looks like, the brand guidelines. It's putting everything together, and as I say, everybody who's used that document has gone, oh my goodness, it made me think, which is exactly what it is. Then the second part of it is once you've done all that, it allows you to go into your marketing itself and say and audit that marketing. If you don't go in and audit your marketing, whether it's even at the very beginning, this is a worthwhile process. Who are your target audiences? What's your branding doing? I know myself when I've started businesses, and I've started a few now at my age. Like I'll do a social media channel and I'll pop up a profile image and I'll pop up an about, and none of it is ever consistent. So it's a case of going back and finding out what is your branding, what is the messages that you're putting across on all of your channels, on your website. Is it all consistent? Is it saying the same thing? It allows you to go and look at, what products you're selling, what testimonials you've got, who are your competitors. Again, it's going to make you really, really think. It's going to look at your website and say what's working, what's not working with a fresh set of eyes. It's going to look particularly at mobile optimization on your website. It's going to look at the speed of your website, showing you how to do those sorts of techniques. It's going to look at SEO. It's going to give you a way to check Google searches. It's going to give you a way to look at Google Analytics, current marketing practices, paid advertising, social media, email capturing. And as you can see, there's a lot there in the investigation, and I will guarantee you will find some surprises for yourself. You think, oh, I thought I'd done that, or I didn't realize I'd done it that way. Then it takes all of that background, and each stage is sort of getting, questions being asked of you and pointers as to, where you go and look and what you're actually looking for. Then at the end of all that, I'll just scroll down. It goes and makes you then look back at what you found, gives you some questions to answer, and then ideally you do the answers to those questions. The same with the branding. Every single section, it gives you the questions that you need to be asking yourself as the business owner. If you're doing this for a client, then these are the questions you need to be asking. You need to be asking on behalf of your client, not to the client, because I guarantee most of them don't have the answers. They don't know. They've never done any marketing this in depth or assessment this in depth. And then once you've done that, you work out what do you do about those findings. You go back to each of those findings and you say, okay, this is what I found. What do I do about that now? What do I need to do? Sometimes that means, I need to go and find out how to do this, or I need to go and find, a person who can do this for me. And you do the same thing all the way through. This, as you can see, without any information filled in on it, is a 31-page document. By the time these are finished and you've got all the information in there, they're up to about 50 or 60 pages. And then what do you do after that? So you put all that together, and then so you use the template. You do the marketing audit or review, which is that document we just looked like. You go in and assess the findings. How do you fix the issues you identified, and then this becomes your template for going back to it over and over and over again. You won't, ideally, unless you've played around with your social media channels on your website, you don't need to go back to things like how they're branded and what they look like, but it's going to give you a consistent point in which you can go back and say, okay, this is what I said on the about for the 5 channels of dot. We've got a new channel coming up. What's the exact stuff that I said on the other channels to make it all consistent? What you do need to do is go back then and look at how it's working. There are more in-depth things like particularly on the email captures. No, that's the findings. You can go back then at each section within it. Actually, the really good one to show you would be Faceback. Once you've captured this detail, I haven't left all these images in here. I've just left you some images in to see it. It allows you then to go back, say, in 3 months' time or 6 months' time or 12 months' time and re-look at those metrics you captured and go back to the metrics you captured last time and do a comparison. So are you improving? What's happened? Have you gone backwards? Have you gone forwards? What are the numbers telling you? Particularly if you've found a problem. Big problem we see on social media is the likers and followers are all from the wrong countries. So I would be going back then in 6 months' time and saying, okay, so the strategies I've implemented to change that to drive customers from different countries, how is that working? I'm a strong advocate of the numbers need to drive your marketing, not what you think you should be doing or what you do or don't like to do in terms of the marketing channels, or all the insane comments that you see from Facebook groups about what you should or should be doing, of which 99% of them are absolutely wrong. And the numbers will tell you what's right. The numbers will allow you to see what's going on for your business at a snapshot in time, and then you can keep doing those snapshots in time, and from that you can actually supercharge, strategize, and grow your marketing. Of course, I don't just do this DIY. Even if you're getting halfway through the DIY and you're going, I don't know how to do this, I don't have time, I'm not interested. I do offer this as a one-on-one service, and you'll find that information on my website.